lesson, we're going to learn to find the slope and the rate of change of the line. Objective number 1. Find the slope of the line giving 2 points. The slope of the straight line shows how steep a straight line is. So to calculate the slope, we divide the changing in the height by the changing in the horizontal distance. So look at this graph right here. Here is the straight line. We're looking for the slope of this guy, which is the changing in y over changing in x. So if we change in x. Now the changing in y, also called the rise or fall, and this is your run. See how rise over run. So look at this example. I have this graph right here, wherever that is, and I want to find the slope of this graph. Now you see that the slope, by the way, we use a letter M stands for slope. Okay. The slope. So the changing in y is, you read the vertical, the changing in the height. So you see you have 1, 2, 3 units in changing in y, and for the changing in x, you have 1, 2, 3. So you have 3 units. So the slope here is 1. Try now 1. To find the slope of this graph, we read the changing in the vertical or the height, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, over the horizontal, which is 2. Counting each square is 1 unit, so 2. So I have 2. So the slope here is 2. Now this slope here is, this 2 here is, this slope here is greater than this slope over here for this graph. You can see that the graph is steeper than this graph. So the greater the number of the slope, the steeper the line will be. Okay, so we got. Let's try this one. So this one here, the slope will be, changing the vertical is 3 and horizontal is 5. Now if you want to know exactly what is 3 over 5, you use the calculator. So 3.5, I put in the calculator, I have 0.6. That's a slope for this line. So this line here is less steep because the slope is got smaller. Now, what is when we talk about the positive slope or negative slope? Now the positive slope means it's going up. Negative slope, it means it's going down. When you read the graph from the left to right. So let's look at this graph here to find a slope here. So I have the change in y is 4, but I'm going downwards, so I have minus and then over 2, so I have slope minus 2. So the line going down, when we move along it has a negative slope. Now look at the slope of the horizontal line. The horizontal line, if you follow the definition of the horizontal line, well, it's a horizontal, there's no changing in the y, so the changing in y is 0, so I have changing in y is 0. And the changing in the horizontal, which is 5 units, so I got 5. So 0 over 5 is 0. Now that means the slope is 0. We have a slope which is 0. So every horizontal line has a slope of 0. Okay? So any 2 points, we got any 2 points of the horizontal line, we have the same value of y. So that's why the change in y is 0. So it's no different. So the way all the horizontal line have a slope of 0. Let's look at the vertical line. A vertical line, we're changing on the vertical by 3 in this graph, and then for horizontal is 0. But 3 divided by 0 is undefined. So you see for the horizontal line, for a vertical line, the slope is undefined. So for any, let me bring this one up. For any 2 points on a vertical line, we have the same value of x, so there is no change in x. So therefore, the change in x is 0. So 3 divided by 0 is undefined. So what I'm saying here, for all the vertical lines have undefined slope. That's because the change in x is 0. So let's look at the more formula of the slope of the line of 2 points. So the slope is rise over 1 or change in y over change in x. But what it means is if you have 2 points on a graph, we'll take the y, it's called 2 points. Let's say I have x1, y1. So here's point 1. And then point 2 we label x2, y2. Okay. So the slope will be the change in y over change in x is y2 minus y1. That's the change in y. And the x2 minus x1. Okay. So that's the formula of finding the slope of the line of the 2 points. Now, this formula here, it is not really matter which point you label, x, y, point 1 or point 2, because the formula is actually the same if I can write the slope at y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. This is the same thing if you're going to use this formula or that formula, the answer is the same. So the order, so the matter is not, the order, the label is not very matter. So the most important thing that you have to remember is the order which y coordinate are subtract in the numerator. What does it mean? Is exactly the same as the order in which the x coordinates are subtract in the denominator. What I mean by this is if you have y2 here, y here should be x2. You have x or y1 here, y here should be x1. Not swapping around. So see right here, another way to write the slope formula is to have y1. You see here to have y1 here, I should have x1 here, y2 here, x2 there. So let's look at the example. I'm looking for find the slope of a line that's passed through this point. So I let x1 and y1 equal to 4 comma minus 3. Then x2 comma y2 is 2 and 2. So you can use the formula either this first one or the second one here. You get this one or that one, the answer is the same. So let me show you what I mean by that. So based on the formula, I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we claim that y2 is 2, minus y1 is a minus 3. So here's y1 over x2 is also 2, so here's x2, minus x1 is 4. So I got the the minus and the minus here become a positive, so I have 2 plus 3 over minus 2, so I have 5 over minus 2. Now it's the same thing, you use another one, or you can use, let me try to do both, x be y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So in this case here, y1 will be a minus 3, and then minus y2 is 2 over x1 is 4 minus x2 is 2, which is again a minus 5 on the top over 2. You see the value is exactly the same. This is a minus, this you can rewrite as a minus 5 over value exactly the same. Now that means that this value here meaning that our slope is going down. The slope is the slope of the line that passed through these 2 points is minus 5 or 2, so it's going down. So for every vertical change of 5 units downward, there is a horizontal change of 2 units to the right. Okay. Or if you read, this is something as I put 5 over minus 2. Okay. And if that's the case, then that means the slope of the line that passed through this point is minus 5 over minus 2. For that means for every vertical change of 3 units upward, there is the horizontal change of 2 units to the left, because minus here go to the left, positive go up, minus 5 here go down, this here go to the right. Remember, these just mean the changing in the y, here changing in the x. Let's look at objective number 2. Number 2, we find the slope of a line of giving the equation. Before we do anything, let's look at the slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form is another way to write the equation of a line into variables. It's y equal to mx plus b, where m is stand for slope and b here actually stands for 0, comma b is your y-intercept. So right, m here is a slope and right here is stand for y-intercept. Okay. So let's look at what I mean by this. So if we had a graph, and for every graph like this, we had a slope of the line. You can just find the slope of the line is changing in y over changing in x. And right here, this point here is the y-intercept. Okay. So the slope will be change in y over change in x. Okay, so the y's mean how far you go up or go down, depending on the graph, and the x is tell us how far along we go on the x, either left or right. Okay. It's the x value and the y value, there's meaning in the equation, and the m stands for slope. So let's look at an example. You can read the example here. If you want to write the equation of this line, first we need to find a slope, and you can see right away the changing in y is 2 units, and the changing in x is 1 unit. Because I go upwards, the graph go up, so I have positive slope, I have 2, and the y-intercept is right here, which is 0, is 1. So that means I have 0, 1, that is a y-intercept. Now to find the equation of the line, we're using the slope-intercept form. All you have to do is replace the m. So we use the red. Replace this here as slope and replace this value. That's it, we're done. So I got y equal to 2 times x plus 1. Try another example. This one here, we're looking for the equation of the line. Oh, I'm missing the slope. I'm missing the slope there, I just have to fill in the slope. So to find the equation of the line with a slope of -3/2 and the y-intercept is -5. So here is the slope-intercept. So this here given us the slope is -3/2 times x. The y-intercept is -5. This is the b right here, so I have -5. So we're done. That's it, the equation of the line. This is our answer. Try the example. Let's say we have the equation of the line right here, and they ask us to find the slope and the y-intercept. This is the equation of the line in the standard form. So it has 6x plus 2y equal to 15. Now be careful. It's kind of difficult to determine the slope and the y-intercept based on reading this equation alone. So we cannot really determine the slope and the y-intercept of the line from the standard equation, unless the equation has been solved for the y first, the y value. What I mean by this, first we have to solve for y, and so the way this equation here to look like the slope in the subform. When the equation is written like this, we can identify the slope and the y-intercept easily. So to solve for y, I'm minus 6x both sides. I have 2y equal to minus 6x plus 15. Now then divide by 2. So the 2 here cancel out. I have y equal to minus 3x plus 15 over 2. Now, since our equation, this equation here, written in the slope-intercept form, here is the slope-intercept form, we can identify the slope easily. The slope in this case here is minus 3, and the y-intercept will be 0, 15 over 2. So that is our answer.